Oh boy.
The Dougcaster. Dougcaster. It's the Dougcaster. The Dougcaster. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Hey, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome to the Dougcaster. It's the same place it always is. The same comfy couch. Wherever you are. I don't know what you're doing. You're probably not even sitting. You're probably jogging and doing jumping jacks, aren't you? Well, I sure ain't. So if you listen to the last little one, well, the cat didn't make it. Yep. So we're going to have to deal with that. And yeah, y'all think it's no big deal. I'll tell you what, it's going to get crazy. Give it a year or two. Look at yourself. 5 years from now, when you're going, how the hell did it all come to this? Remember, you're in it now, buddy. This is how it all comes to that. What is that? I don't fucking know, but it can't be good. It can't be good. The poor cat. Anyway, so it is what it is. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Abandon all hope. Just shrug it from your shoulders like a cape. I don't know. Because what are you gonna do? All them people, forgive them, universe, for they know not what they do. They know not, universe. Oh, the universe doesn't care about you. The universe doesn't give a shit. The universe doesn't care what happens on this tiny little space of land on this planet in the middle of this galaxy. Around this little star on the edge, this not interesting star, there's this little planet around it, and we're on this little corner of it. Yeah, the universe doesn't care. And that's just one galaxy with billions of stars in it. There's billions and billions of galaxies, and all of them have billions and billions of stars, and they're light years and light years apart, and you don't know how long a light year is. Did you know that the closest star to us, it's something like 3.5 light years away? I actually believe it's a 2-star system, like it's a binary system. They're 2 stars, they're close enough so they kind of their gravity gets them both going, and they're both just kind of circling around each other, just kind of doing this little dance. Anyway, 3.5 light years away. So if we went at 70,000 miles an hour, I calculated this. That was the fastest spaceship at the time, something 70,000 miles an hour. It was at the miles an hour or 70,000 years. I don't know. I'm trying to give you facts and I don't remember what they are, but I did the math once. To go as fast as our fastest spacecraft, it would take something like 70,000 years to get there. 70,000 years is a long time. I don't know about you, but I ain't got that long. Come on, move it along, Doug. We ain't got 70,000 years to listen to this analogy about the universe. It's not even an analogy. I'm not even talking about anything. I'm just saying the universe doesn't care about you. The universe does not give a fuck. It's huge. You're less than an ant. You're like an atom. Universe doesn't care, bro. Universe doesn't care, bro. Don't care, bro. Don't care. Hey, so I guess we're doing movie talk today. Movie talk. Movie talk. Did you watch some movies, Doug? I watched some movies. Movie talk. Yeah, so I watched The Long Good Friday, but I was a little inebriated when I began it. A little inebriated right now, to be quite honest with you. Right? What are we going to do? I keep thinking get together, Doug. You gotta give this booze up. And then I'm like, oh, but what's the point? Why? Oh, why should I trudge this cross up the hill? Oh, it's a steep hill. Why don't I just lay down? Why don't I just lay down right here? So what? So anyway, tried to watch The Long Good Friday. Okay, so it's early 70s, and Bob Hoskins. Remember Roger Rabbit? He was the guy in Roger Rabbit, and he was really good in that. Apparently, I need to rewatch it. I haven't seen it forever. But Bob Hoskins is in the Long Good Friday, and it's like in Europe, and it's filmed in the early 70s, and there's something very early 70s. I like just about the way they filmed it, and then everybody's got an English accent. Like it seemed very foreign. It seemed very foreign. Hoskins was interesting. It was an interesting take on a mob boss, but I just kind of have a vibe from it. Like I said, I didn't even quite finish it, but it seemed like it was pretty good. I'm probably way underselling it. I was in no state to watch it or review it. But the next day I did watch Mona Lisa, also a Bob Hoskins starring role, and that one was actually pretty good. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. That song's in it just a couple too many times towards the beginning. But Bob Hoskins, Kathy Tyson plays the gal. Michael Caine. Fucking Michael Caine. Robbie Coltrane. Okay. I was watching that and I was trying to figure out who that guy was. I don't know who he is, but he's just familiar. I've seen him and stuff. And some other people, but okay, so Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, something, something. Who the fuck sings that song? Is it Frank Sinatra? It's probably been covered a bunch of times. I don't know who it is. I don't think it's Frank Sinatra, but it's probably somebody like that. It might even be Frank Sinatra. It might even be motherfucking Frank Sinatra. I don't fucking know, man. I ain't looking that up right now. I ain't worried about it. Oh, I hope I didn't close my browser. I got this other thing open on it. Just set my phone back down. Okay, so anyway, what's it called? Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. It was okay. It was pretty good. So Bob Hoskins gets out of jail from some small-time crook stuff, tries to reconnect with his daughter and his estranged wife, and his wife goes ape shit, and so he goes a little ape shit and throws shit after she slams the door, and their daughter's like teenage kind of. And she's standing there going, no, why you guys fighting? Why? I don't know. And so he hooks up with what was his name? Robbie Coltrane or whatever. The guy that looks really familiar. I've seen him and stuff. And he lives with him for a while. And Bob Hoskins checks in with his old boss, his old criminal guy, and brings him a white rabbit. He brings him a white rabbit. Like, I don't know why, but the criminal guy's not there, so he's got to give the rabbit to another guy. But later, the criminal guy shows up and he's got the rabbit. So he got the rabbit. It was a gift. I don't know. He thought that he'd like a white rabbit. He stopped at a pet store and got it special on the way. Fucking got special on the way. Oh, and the Robbie guy, he had saved Bob Hoskins' car, which was like a really nice car, but he'd saved it for him. So Bob Hoskins had a car, right, getting out of jail, and he could live with his buddy in this little trailer thing. His buddy's got all these weird projects. This Robbie, whatever his name is, guy. That was his name in his show. That was the name of his the actor. The actor. Oh, this is such a coherent review. And so what Bob Hoskins ends up doing, the criminal guy gives him a beeper, and he ends up answering the beeper and going to places. And this is very early beeper stuff. Like, he's like, what the fuck is this thing? And some guy explains it to him. But like, it's super early, not even like this is 1986, so beepers were still in their infancy. Yeah, like 1986 is when this movie came out. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. So he gets beeped, and what he ends up doing is just driving this lady of the night around. Like it seems like she's a high-end prostitute or something. So he drives her around to different places and waits in the car. And the movie goes on, and he develops connections with her, and she's trying to find somebody, and he helps her find her. And it's a little bit of a mystery thing, but mainly it's just Bob Hoskins, just carrying a movie. Like, he's really good. Like, everybody else is pretty good in it too. I don't know. That's not much of a review. I found Mona Lisa to be a pretty good movie. The ending was a little weird, and it's I don't know. There's some language that doesn't hold up, right? Yeah. They used another word for pimp. I can't remember what it was. It also started with a P. English word for pimp. Should I Google that? You want to know what it is, don't you? I don't fucking know what it is. Okay, I'm going to Google this. Hold on. Another tab. English word for pimp. See, that's easier than saying it. English word for pimp. That's not it. Ponce. That was it. Ponce. My pimp. Anyway, good movie. Yeah, the main girl was good in it too. Nothing too exciting, nothing to write home about, but it's very interesting. You know, you get 1986 London. That's an interesting slice to see. You know, right? Watched a couple more episodes of that show Ripley, and I kind of like it actually. I think I'd said 2 or 3 episodes previously, but that was only 2 episodes. I watched 2 more, and spoilers, but you've probably seen The Town of Mr. Ripley, which is basically the plot line, I think. This just takes more time, and it's in black and white. And it's just got, like, he's very different than Matt Damon played him. He's a lot more creepy, weird guy. I don't know who the guy is. I wonder if he was, I don't know. He seems like a Dennis Reynolds. He seems like a Dennis Reynolds kind of, just a little bit. Or do you ever see that show You? I watched that with an ex-girlfriend, 2 or 3 seasons of that. It kind of reminds me of the main guy from that. It might even be him. I should Google that. Fuck. What's the name of it? Ripley. Ripley, IMDb, motherfucker. There we go. And what am I looking for? The actors, top cast. Andrew Scott, I guess, plays Tom Ripley. Okay, now if I look up the cast of that You show, I only watched a few seasons of it. And I only watched it because this ex-girlfriend wanted to watch it. But yeah, it was creepy. You, IMDb. Is it the same guy? I bet it's the same guy. I'll bet it's the same fucking guy. Let's find out. Where's cast? Nope, not at all. Not the same guy at all. Yeah. They don't even look alike. They don't even look alike at all. So if you've been yelling at the radio, anyway, the 2 episodes are pretty good. Yeah, this guy's not so good at killing people. And they take their time on scenes, and it's in black and white. And it looks like Italy in the 40s or whenever it's set. And there's this old ass elevator that plays a big part in it in this building he lives. I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. It's dark. It's like a murder thing, and he's like trying to get away with murder. It's more, I don't know. It's good. I recommend it so far. How's it go from here? I don't know. And he seemed, I don't know. He like in the movie, it was made more like he was gay, but like there's really nothing overtly about that. I think it's more of his malevolence than anything like that. At least so far. There was this one part where he's driving this dead body, and the dead body's slumped over against the window in the car, but like he makes a turn and the body like slumps onto him like it's resting its head on him, and he's kind of like, get off me, he pushes it to the window again, then it slumps back over onto him again, and then he's kind of like, this is kind of nice. It's pretty dark. Guy's not good at getting rid of. Well, who is though? Who is? I hope you're not. I hope nobody is able to speak to that. Okay, what else did I watch? I watched another one. Oh yeah. I watched To Leslie. I've heard of it a couple times. Mark Maron's mentioned it on his podcast. He's in it. He kind of stars in it. Well, not really. This woman stars in it, and she's really fucking good. Really good. So, to Leslie, and I heard Mark Maron talking about it and how he like worked really hard on the Southern accent and went to like a coach and stuff. Mark Maron's kind of adorable, like an aging teddy bear. He's like he finally got claim in like his 50s, or money anyway. He finally got really well paid off his podcast taking off and kind of being its own thing. He just interviews people. They're pretty good and they're really good interviews. He's got a huge backlog catalog of interviews of celebrities, and he digs into their life and stuff more than the typical interview does. But now he's trying to break into acting. And he's like what, 62, 63, and he's still on his podcast like, yeah, I just learned this great thing from Sharon Stone. I was in the scene with her and she taught me how to get into this place. And watching this, like, it's kind of funny because like the acting, I was kind of like but it's perfect for the movie. Like, he found roles, or at least this particular role, where all he had to do was a little bit of an accent and pretty much be himself, but playing this particular character. But that's it. What else is acting but like starting with yourself and then just modifying it a little bit here and there, right? And it's perfect for the thing. But like for a little bit of it, I was kind of like, look at him out there trying to act. But he's apparently doing all kinds of stuff. He's got new stuff in the works I'm not familiar with. I never watched Glow. I don't know how he was on Glow. He was supposed to be on this one, I don't know, about this famous Jewish guy that was a radio host or something and got killed. He played the radio host. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot. But I thought this one would be interesting. And it was. There's this, what's her name? Give her credit. She's really good. I mean, Andrea Riseborough. She's very phenomenal. She plays an alcoholic mother. She wins the lottery. It's like less than $200,000, so it's enough to like she's good for a while, but she's just drunk and ends up broke as shit and just trying to find a place to stay and all this. And she goes in with her son's 19 now, so she moves in with him, and then he kicks her out for stealing money and drinking. And then she and sends her back to this town where she knows a couple people. So she gets back there. One of them, Stephen Root. Stephen Root shows up again. Very different, very low key. He plays like like a biker guy, like a motorcycle guy. I don't think there's a motorcycle in it at all, but he dresses like sort of like a Harley guy or something. And he's there, and she gets kicked out of staying with them pretty quick. And then she ends up by this hotel and ends up Mark Maron's like, hey, do you want a job? So I don't know. Should I say anything about spoilers? I mean, we're just talking about shows here. If you don't want to hear it, you can skip forward, right? Besides, you're going to watch something called To Leslie? You should, but are you gonna? And so he brings her in and gives her a job at the hotel and fronts her a little money, and she goes out and drinks the money, and she actually ends up doing an okay job, like struggling, because she's like one of those drunks, like, if you don't drink, you get the shakes, I guess. Like, if there's one point she quits and starts going through, like, detox and has a hard time for a couple nights, then she's just kind of hanging out there, and story progresses, and her and Mark are able to build something at the end. She does quit drinking, and it's interesting. Like, it made me be like, yeah, Doug, you should quit drinking. Oh, but what's the point? What's the point? Oh, hope is lost. Why not just be drunk into oblivion? What are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do? But anyway, it had a really nice ending, the movie. Like, it kind of, I was like, oh, yeah. And Mark did great in his role. That woman, I forgot her name. I closed the window already, but she was really good. I never heard of her before. I wonder if she's in other things. Oh, I almost forgot. The guy that actually owns the hotel is this like kind of crazy old black guy. And the whole movie, it bugged me. I was like, I know who that guy is. I know what's he from? Oh God, I know him from something. I know him from something. And I just couldn't come up with anything, so I'd let it go. But then a little bit later, next time I'd be on camera, I'd be like, who is that guy? I know who that guy is. It was Bubbles from The Wire. Have you seen The Wire? The Wire was a pretty good show. Bubbles from The Wire. What's his name? Hold on. He's right here. Andre Royo. I heard an interview with him, too. He's an interesting dude. Bubbles from The Wire. Like, he's so good in that. Like, it seems like he's an actual crackhead they pulled off the street. He's totally acting that part, man. That dude's good. I've heard interesting conversations with him. But anyway, it didn't until I looked at IMDb just before doing this. I couldn't figure it out, and I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. Something about that name. And so I looked up The Wire and I was like, it is. Yeah. Anyway, isn't that crazy when you just can't think of who it is and it's just driving you crazy and just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And then you get such sweet relief when it finally just pops in your head and you go, oh, that's who it is. It took me a trip to IMDb, but that only triggered it a little further, which gave me the extra spark to go, wait, I know who that is. Oh, it is. It's Bubbles. Fucking Bubbles from The Wire. Anyway, pretty good movie. What else have I watched? I finished rewatching Bojack Horseman for the 5th or 6th time. Have you seen Bojack Horseman? You should watch Bojack Horseman. It's on Netflix. It's a cartoon. It's 6 seasons. It takes a season and a half to find its footing. The first season or so, it's a lot of animal puns, but you get characters like Mr. Peanut Butter is a dog. But dogs and humans live together in this world, so like animals that are living in the human world have lots of human characteristics. They got like arms and hands. But they have like mainly that. It's like they're a humanized version of it. But Mr. Peanut Butter is one of the characters, and he's a golden retriever, and he's played by Paul F. Tompkins, and it's such a great character. It's such a he's just always happy about everything, except when he's sad. He can be sad dog too. And it's just so good. It's about Bojack Horseman. Like I said, it takes about a season and a half to find its footing, a lot of puns, but it just builds a world. It's all continuity, canon, whatever you want to say. Like if somebody one of the characters goes on a weird side half episode thing where they're in prison and they got this crazy adventure in prison and they get a prison tattoo, that prison tattoo will be there for the whole rest of the series. If you see their arm or wherever it is, I forget where it is. Just shit like that. Or like there's this one part where there's this background character that you just see multiple times on these like shots before it goes into an interior. And then one time he like just shows up in a scene and he has something smart to something kind of like, what is it? Oh, it gets better. But you have to do it every day. That's the hard part. No, it gets easier, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part. That's it. One more time with feeling. It gets easier, but you have to do it every day. That's the hard part. And of course I do it a little bit like Tom Waits. The guy's not like Tom Waits at all, but that's got nothing to do with anything. So watch it. Get into at least the second season, because season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they just get better and better, really. Like there's still silly stuff that goes on, but it's emotional, it's to the core, it's realistic in these friendships and these ridiculous situations and these different ridiculous characters, and it like attacks certain things. Like it's dark, man. It's dark. So the whole theme song at the end is like, back in the 80s, I was in a very famous TV show. I'm Bojack the horse, Bojack the horse, don't act like you don't know. Yeah, So that kind of sums it up. He was in a sitcom in the 80s, and now he's like kind of washed up, but then his career gets a little bit of a jump start, but then he completely sabotages it just by being a complete piece of shit. Like it's good. Bojack the horse. Bojack. It's just called Bojack. It's on Netflix. 6 seasons. Telling you, as you get further up in the seasons, you'll just watch episodes and be like, oh shit. Like there's one where the whole episode is basically him doing a monologue at his mom's funeral. And that's the whole episode. Like it's good, it's meaningful, it's got an arc, like even just that little episode. Anyway, recommendation, Bojack. Bojack the horse, Bojack the horse. Don't act like you don't know. All right. I don't know. I think that's all I got today. I don't even know why I felt like doing this. I just felt like doing it. I was like, I got a few movies to talk about. I got a few minutes before dinner, but then I'm going to do this and take way more time than that because it takes a minute, man. You gotta put the little intro music at the beginning, and then you gotta set the levels so that it sounds decent when you export it. Ooh, I forgot to put on. Usually when I record this audio, I put on for these podcasts, I add the compression and I add the EQ before I record it. But it'll probably sound just fine when I add it afterwards here, right? Right? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Good luck to you. Be safe out there. Bugging.